This video is supposed to open with us stopping in Lake Louise on our way from Calgary back towards BC. It turns out that even to get on the shuttle from the parking lot to Lake Louise you need a reservation, so we had lunch and carried on to do a hike.
Having failed to get to Lake Louise, we've continued west. We got off the highway to go to Wapta Falls, drove down this dirt road for about 7 kilometers.
To what was called Wapta Falls Recreation, whatever.
Turned around, drove 7 kilometers back out to the highway, drove down a different Wapta Falls road, 2 kilometers, much more reasonable, but now we're on the trail to Wapta Falls. Hopefully we get to see a waterfall. Last waterfall was a failure. This one, fingers crossed. Okay, we've learned one thing. Our natural walking pace on a nice trail is faster than a mosquito can fly, which is great. The family that you might still be able to see behind us, a little slower, is not. Got to keep up the pace. I mean, maybe I'm just justifying it to myself, but this seems better than waiting for the parking lot shuttle at Lake Louise.
The trail at Wapta Falls circled back to give you viewpoints at 3 different levels of the falls, which was really cool.
Now that we've made it to Wapta Falls, I want to talk about tourists for a minute. We could have waited in line for the shuttle to go to Lake Louise and battle people up the trail to get a look back on the lake or whatever. Or we could drive 2 minutes down a side road and end up here at Wapta Falls with 2 other very nice people who also have made the trek down this path. I think it took half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And it's us and a waterfall and cold feet. And that's it.
Oh yeah, it's cold.
We made it to Golden to find the internet out in a bunch of the city because of a power failure, but we made it. We had to pay cash at the brewery. We found a surprisingly good Mexican restaurant and walked around the city, which is really a lovely little town. We're staying at the Base Camp Lodge, which, I mean, just look at this place. It's really a shame we only get to spend 1 night here. Tomorrow, we head to Revelstoke. Good morning from Golden. We got here last night and just kind of hung around the city a little bit. Sadly, we only get 1 day here.
It's like a smaller version of Fernie, the feel of it.
Yeah, would be cool to stay another day or 2. We're not going to get to do the sky bridge that is apparently relatively new and a cool like pedestrian suspension bridge. But today we're going to carry on towards Revelstoke, do a few hikes on the way.
Before we leave Golden, we're going to walk the Reflection Lake Loop. We're not doing the Reflection Lake Loop or whatever the hell it's called.
Too many mosquitoes.
Too many. Once again.
Flashbacks of Briscoe Falls.
Yeah, once again, a cloud of mosquitoes is following us. Now that we're away from the traffic noise, this is the Loop Work Trail. And the first thing we're seeing here behind us is the supports from the old railway track that went straight that way. And a little S-curve to get up or down the hill. According to the interpretive sign, we are standing on what was once the railway track. That way, and that way. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but there's kind of a washboard texture to the trail here that I think is probably remnants of the railway ties that have been taken out. For those among us who didn't do elementary school history in Canada, the railway is really the thing that connected the country and let Canada kind of be one thing. That let you get to BC from everywhere else. And we're the only ones who seem to want to walk around and have a look at it. It's also a really nice hike. Having experienced success with our last hike, we've come back a few kilometers to do a quick half hour called Meeting of the Waters. Hey buddy. We found it. The waters, they're meeting. They meet right here. Once again, there's like 3 people here. Okay, we made it to Revelstoke. And 2 successful hikes down for the day. We're starting a 3rd. This is the Broken Bridge Trail on Mount Revelstoke. Apparently, much like the Meeting Waters hike, it's literally named and there's a broken bridge at the end. Let's find out. Oh, we hear water. Our theory is that the broken bridge would have been over water, so we must be close. Well, there was a bridge. It was broken. Truth in advertising, I guess.
It was a nice little waterfall though, so that was good.
So it turns out our last hike wasn't our last hike. We've come up to the top of Mount Revelstoke, where apparently there's usually a shuttle that goes from the parking lot to the summit. Not this year. So apparently it's a 20-minute walk on this road, which seems totally reasonable. And we're headed to the top. Oh, well, you look at that. Snow. Well, we made it. We've sounded Mount Revelstoke, the harrowing 20 minutes from the parking lot.
But there is snow.
Would you like to take a few steps, see how it goes? We've encountered an obstacle. Well, we're back on yet another beautiful lake. This is Lake Revelstoke. It's the reservoir for the Revelstoke hydroelectric dam, which is behind me. And as far as I can tell, we're the only human beings on this lake.
We're on Lake Revelstoke. It's a little bit windy, but we found a small cave, I guess. So it's not too bad.
Well, we have reached our destination, which was this point. And well, from here, if we want it to, the wind will just drift us back to the launch. Oh, we made a bee friend. Well, my little bee buddy is still with me. Oh, I tried to set him free, but he almost drowned, so I brought him back up. He seems to like it on my board. You're doing fine, buddy. You take your break. Status report. The bee has climbed into the clip that I used to attach the GoPro, so now I can't move my GoPro. It's the bee's house now. Okay. He has ceded the territory of my GoPro clip. He's still here. I hope he's okay. I don't know when he first aid, so good luck, brother.
The bee was deposited on a flower near the boat launch. We packed up the boards and went to the interpretive center for the hydroelectric dam that created the reservoir we'd just been paddling on.
We're leaving Revelstoke today with one last quick hike, the Boulder Mountain Lookout, which hopefully gives us a view back over the town. Okay, it's been a fairly steep walk, a little more technically challenging than the ones we've done before. Given the density of the trees, I'm suspicious of the payoff, but we'll see. Well, the Boulder Mountain Lookout, also a well-named hike. Well, that is all of the city of Revelstoke, with Mount Revelstoke in the background and some other mountains that a better vlogger would know the names of. As we come down off Boulder Mountain, we also say goodbye to Revelstoke. Today we're heading west to Kamloops, then Penticton, and then home.